Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
One of the misconceptions that I'm running into a lot now, I think it's because I'm trying to get more people into CrossFit potentially, or maybe it's finally hitting mainstream enough that you're starting to have more discussions with people, which is, that's great that you go to CrossFit, but I'm not an elite athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I'm not a CrossFitter. It's like, that is a very big misconception, because you said people in your class see other people coming into a regular quote unquote CrossFit class where you're going to use the barbell sometime. It's an hour long and so forth. I mean, look, I have gone to CrossFit when I didn't know any of the movements, when I was fat, not necessarily overweight, because when I am not fit, actually, I don't tend to put on weight. I just get a gut, and I'm heavier now than I was 6 months ago when I started hitting this hard. But still out of shape, get sore very quickly, get winded very quickly. I mean, you have people of all ages, you have people of all weights, all of that. Like, you have people that are, have been doing CrossFit for years, and they're good and their body shows it and they're healthy, and then you have people that aren't. So anyhow, I feel like there's this misconception out there with CrossFit that it's sort of like for the CrossFitters or the elite athletes. And it's really not. It's a good way to get fit, in my opinion.
It is and I'm a great example of that. Like I only started CrossFit when we moved to Nashville 4 years ago. And I was terrified of it. A lot
of people are.
And because of that misconception, it's like I either have, which I don't even understand how we think the elite athletes got there. Like, they had to start somewhere,
Yes.
You take it apart, you start to understand, well, they actually had to start somewhere. And most CrossFit gyms will have either a foundations class, like an onboarding class, or are aware that with a new person, you're going to have to help them scale. And there's a scale for every single CrossFit movement.
You can't do toes to bar, no problem. Do like an L sit-up, or not a sit-up, but like do L sits or whatever. Like, pull your legs up. Can't do that, just pull your knees up. Can't do that, what's the candlestick?
A candlestick is like when you're laying on your back on the ground and holding something behind your head. And again, just lifting your legs up as high as you can.
Yes.
Potentially all the way up to whatever's behind your head.
Yes. And that's an important point, is like, people need to realize, you're going to come in and there's going to be a workout and it's going to be structured. And if you can't do it, there's a scale for everything.
Every
if
movement.
You can't run, walk.
Or bike.
Get on the bike. Totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, half the time someone in our class is injured anyway. We have this little thing called L5 Fitness. Shout out to L5 Fitness. We branded ourselves 2 weeks ago because there's like 3 of us that had bad backs.
Oh, it's actually within the gym, your L5 Fitness?
Yeah, it's in the gym. It's like we're all there at the 11:30 class because that's just the class you go to. And that's the fun thing about CrossFit is you get to not only go to the gym, but then you have the class. And it's like you start to see the same people every day.
It's a community. It really is a community for a lot of people.
There's 3 of us back in the back corner. We all had bad backs, and apparently L5 is one of the vertebrae, and one of the guys who's always cracking up something funny, like he named us L5 Fitness. And then we all had then for the next week we kept having these sayings, which I think we annoyed people, but it's like, when your back's on the mend, don't bend, all this but thankfully I'm out of L5 Fitness now. I'm back in the normal
graduated out?
I graduated out. So what I actually kind of like what your gym's doing from a business model standpoint, because I feel like you can capture more people. And then what I don't like about it is it reinforces a stereotype that CrossFit's not for everyone. Have you bumped into that yet? You know what I mean? Like, what's it saying by having another class?
Yeah. Well, I haven't even heard that at all. I've only heard the opposite from people coming in, is like, oh, I think this would be a great place for from the girls that are there. Oh, I think this would be a great place for my husband, because at our gym, now this isn't true of every gym. I do believe this is kind of a culture that maybe the owners bring on. But at our gym, that's been really good, where ego stays at the door.
Yeah.
Like, injury happens a lot quicker if you bring ego in and just try to be stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Which again is a big misconception with CrossFit is, injuries happen. So many injuries happen. And injuries do happen, but I think injuries happen in other gyms as well.
For sure.
So, but in our little class, I hear the girls say, I think actually I could convince my husband to come in here, because he could come in, it wouldn't be the barbells. He could see the other people and realize that, again, like, they're normal people. They're not just all the Rich Fronings of the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
They're parents. They're just people wanting to be healthy. And in our gym, the community is mostly, I'd say, 30s, 40s, even all the way up to 50, 60. So
Yeah.
we do have a small community of younger, like 20-year-olds, high schoolers even.
Oh, cool.
But it is mostly that 30s, 40s, just family people wanting to be
Yes.
fit and healthy.